All right, let's do another trig integral. This one is the integral of tangent squared x times secant to the fourth x from 0 to pi over 4 with respect to x. So because secant is an even power, we want to choose our u, our substitution, to be tangent. Because our du is then going to be secant squared x dx. So we can break up this secant to the fourth into a product secant squared times secant squared. One of those secant squared is going to be our du, and the other one we can use a trig identity to change it to be in terms of tangent, and then everything else that's not the du is going to be something I can change to be in terms of u. So let's do that right now. So if I first break up the secants, I want to keep that second secant and not touch it because that's going to be my du, and change this first secant to be in terms of tangent. So we still have that tangent squared x here, and secant squared by our identity is going to be 1 plus tangent squared of x, secant squared x dx. So now I have my du, everything else in terms of tangent, so I can make my substitution. Doing that, I get a u squared times 1 plus u squared du. Again, we changed from integrating with respect to x and to now integrating with respect to u, so we changed the bounds. Tangent of 0 is 0. Tangent of pi over 4 is 1. So now we're integrating with respect to u from 0 to 1. Okay, so we can distribute this out to make it a little bit easier. So we get u squared plus u to the fourth du. Doing that integral, we get u cubed over 3 plus u to the fifth over 5 from 0 to 1. So that's just 1/3 plus 1/5 minus 0. So if we wanted to, we could combine this fraction to be 5 over 15 plus 3 over 15, which is 8/15, which would be our final answer. I just want to make a note about why we chose tangent to be our u instead of choosing secant. So say that we chose u equals secant. The derivative of secant is secant tangent. We only had 2 tangents to start out with, so our du would be taking up one of those 2, and we'd only be left with 1 tangent, and that's not enough to use this trig identity to get everything in terms of secant. So the key is that secant was an even power, so we choose our u to be tangent. And that's how you do it.